This is GT Academy Masterclass. This week, Lucas Odeneth continues his fitness journey with some cycling in his native Madrid, while the GT Academy rookies have their fitness levels tried and tested at Silverstone's NISMO lab. But first, we see the rookies in action at the Altitude Centre, state-of-the-art training facility in London. The previous winners of GT Academy know how vital being physically fit is when it comes to being successful in your car, especially in the early stages of your career, like the current rookies.
Fitness is essential, no? It's like training for driving. The fitness is one of the biggest parts for them.
The rookies will be racing in the Dubai 24 Hours in January. Through their driver development program, they'll only have a limited amount of time to reach an optimal level of fitness for this endurance event.
It's really important for fitness going to a race, any race, but specifically Dubai, where it's quite hot. The car can sometimes get up to nearly 50 degrees inside.
You can drive a race car not being fit, but obviously you will not be consistent. When you are tired physically, you get tired mentally. You will do a lot of mistakes. That's when the accidents happen.
The rookies still have work to do, so they head to the Altitude Centre in London, a state-of-the-art training facility.
The Altitude Centre is the only centre in the whole of the country where you can train at altitude at sea level. So we bring you up to 3,000 metres, where you can take part in cardiovascular activity as well as circuit classes.
When training at the Altitude Centre, the body acclimatises to the lower levels of oxygen, so that when returning to sea level, it means the body can improve delivery of oxygen. More oxygen will lead to better performance.
So they'll increase their number of red blood cells, so therefore they'll be able to recover quickly. It'll help with their focus, help with sleeping as well. They'll get less fatigued.
Before the rookies enter the chamber, they have some preliminary tests.
Blood pressure was taken during the induction. One of the side effects of altitude training is that the blood viscosity increases. This is due to the increase in red blood cells, so therefore the blood gets thicker, which can then have a knock-on effect on blood pressure.
The rookies are ready and head in for the first of 3 sessions during the day.
Started the morning with a sort of lower intensity session on the bike, just to get them used to the altitude.
Rookies training is also overseen by their sports science consultant, who's guiding them through the driver development program.
They're training at altitude because they get a much better fitness response. The body has to work harder, so when they come out of the altitude chamber, their VO2 max or their fitness level will be higher.
VO2 max is the maximum rate of oxygen consumption as measured during incremental exercises. It's an accurate measure of an athlete's physical fitness.
Even though Dubai is not at altitude, by training at altitude we can get fitness gains much faster, much quicker. So we can do a half an hour session in the altitude chamber, and it's the equivalent of doing an hour session at sea level.
One of the rookies, though, is no stranger to altitude.
I come from Mexico City in Toluca, where at the same altitude people is paying here to come to this room to train themselves, and the only thing I have to do is just open the door of my house and go for a run or something like that.
Next up, a high-intensity session, again on the bikes.
During a high-intensity session, we want the athletes to be working 85 to 95% heart rate max, but we like to see the heart rate to recover quickly.
Finally, they take to the chamber for a third time for a circuit session.
It works on a muscular level, increasing the red blood cells into the muscles. The circuits will be more strength-based rather than cardiovascular-based.
Circuits work the whole body. That helps with everything in the car, from braking to steering and withstanding the G-forces. The rookies' training is finished for the day, but they'll need to continue their fitness work for Dubai.
We have to keep pushing every time, every week.
We're getting stronger and stronger, but definitely we need to push more, because with the level we have right now, it's not enough to run a GT3 GT R car in Dubai.
Lukas Odoniev won the first GT Academy in 2008, and in so doing he became the first gamer to go from virtual to reality. Since then, Lukas has had much success. He's travelled the globe, driving in the world's most prestigious races. Lukas now competes in Japan in Super GT, so rarely gets time back in Europe. His home's in Madrid, and the Spanish capital offers great cycling terrain just outside the city, something he's always keen to take advantage of.
This is the closest place, and no much traffic on the road, and it's a beautiful countryside.
Cycling, typically an endurance sport, is beneficial to car racing drivers who often have long stints in the machine under extremes of heat and pressure.
On the bike, my training sessions start from 2 hours to up to 3 hours and a half. I normally do three sessions a week, and sometimes 4. I combine that with my fitness trainer and also running sessions. But the bike is the one who I take the most time.
Lukas races in Japan. They range from everywhere from 250 to 1,000 kilometers, which means long distances in the car at very high speeds. A higher level of cardiovascular fitness means the ability to concentrate for longer and to be a more precise driver.
Sometimes going on the climbs on 2Ks or 3Ks going uphill, you train, to go up on the heart rate and to train a big effort on your heart rate to be more fit in that area. But normally my target is to be consistent and in a low rep during the cycling and in the cars.
Lukas also uses another training method to improve both his driving skills and fitness while in Madrid.
Another big part of my training is karting. I have a 125cc shifter car. It's really, really hard to drive, really fast.
Go-karting is an extremely physical sport that's testing for the whole body.
It's just perfect for my, to improve my driving skills and to keep fit for the neck, for the arms.
Lukas is always on the move around the world, but he knows that to be at the top of his game, he must be as fit as possible.
Every time I come here or in any place, I try to train my fitness as much as possible to be fit, to be better in the car, and to be faster every time I get on the steering wheel.
From Madrid, it's off to the NISMO lab at Silverstone. Throughout the driving development program, the rookie drivers have their fitness programs designed and monitored by Dan Williams, a sports science specialist. Today, the rookies undergo another round of testing to see how they've improved since first starting their driver development program.
They're doing a couple of different tests today. They're doing a VO2 max test to establish their fitness level. They're doing some reaction testing. They're doing strength testing and abdominal and core assessment tests.
Testing's important to find out what changes need to be made to the fitness programs for the rookies, and each component being tested translates to their driving and performance in the car.
We some exercises on the cycling to see the VO max.
They measure how much oxygen are you using and how you're putting the oxygen into your muscles. So for endurance races, it's very important. If your heart rate is really high, you start losing oxygen in your brain and you start making mistakes.
This test, I didn't feel my leg because it was very intense.
Next, they have their grip and back strength tested.
If it's a long race or a more physically demanding track, there's more movement going through the upper body, the shoulders, the forearms, and it helps to avoid cramp as well in the fingers. What we're looking for is a balance between the muscle groups. It's no good having one arm stronger than the other. We also assess their lower back, because core and lower back is worked quite hard in the car.
The reaction time of the rookies is very important when it comes to decision-making in the car.
We use things like batak wall, fit lights, their reactions to the lights and the way they do it in sequences. There might be some memory involved, more decision-making elements, or under fatigue.
The rookies finish their fitness training with push-ups and sit-ups.
How many? 94, come on, 100. 95.
Dan will now collate the results and redesign their programs so the rookies can achieve their potential when they race in Dubai.
I'm happy because I really improved my fitness since the beginning, so it's really good for me, but still a long way to do.
I was improved from the last time, and that's the good thing.
Next time on GT Academy Masterclass, the rookies hunt down the last few signatures needed to earn their international race licenses, while Lucas Ordonez competes in the penultimate Super GT event of the season.